Hey, what's up everyone? This is C Good. Thank you for joining in because I'm going to do all albums ranked on one of the best post-rock bands on this planet, and that is Explosions in the Sky. If you are watching this video, then you want to see Explosion in the Sky content. And if you know me, you know that I love post-rock, and one of my favorite bands of all time is Explosions in the Sky. I love this band so much that I had probably seen them 8+ times, lost count, and I'm going to share with you my least favorite albums to my most favorite Explosions in the Sky albums. And I know you're probably going to tell yourself after watching my ranking, why the hell are these albums ranked your way? And you're going to fucking disagree, but that's the beautiful thing about this band. Their entire discography is hard to make a bad album, and don't take it personal because these are my personal experiences. These are the albums that connected with me, and if you would love to share your least to favorite Explosion in the Sky albums, just feel free to comment below. I'd love to check out your side of the story. The only rule I'm going to have is that I'm not going to mention any of their motion picture soundtracks because they are known for making soundtracks, music in a video game, also in documentaries. And I'll tell you this right now, my favorite soundtrack from them all time is their 2004 movie, Friday Night Lights. That movie was just fucking abrasive. Hearing Explosion in the Sky plugged into the drama, the intense football playing, and all the emotions just made me walk out of that theater in tears. But alright, enough of me talking. Grab your snacks, drinks, sit back and relax, and here are all my albums ranked of Explosions in the Sky. Alright, so coming in at number 8 is my least favorite Explosions in the Sky album, and that is their 2005 album, The Rescue. It's funny about these established bands because their worst album, a lot of audience like their favorite album. And I've seen videos that people really enjoy this album. For me, this album sounds really good. It's like, has one sound to it. It's a little bit different. Like, it's more of a magical feeling. There's a lot of like twangy reverb sounds to it, a lot of bells to it. And I feel like this album is not as melodic. It has like kind of one tone in each track. And it's not like a wild roller coaster like there's other albums. And at times, I guess you could say it can drag. But like I said, the sound is fucking beautiful. It's different from the rest. And that's why it's in my number 8. Coming in at number 7 is their 2017 album, The Wilderness. This album is pretty fucking good. This album kind of sounds like a soundtrack a little bit because a lot of their songs are a whole lot shorter compared to their long, climatic, melodic, cinematic tracks. I know it's a little bit slower, and a lot of people did not like this fucking album, but I thought it was pretty good, and it still provided that post-rock, twangy, West Texas vibe. Some of my tracks are like Logic of a Dream. I think that was their main song that they promoted, and my other favorites are Infinite Orbits and Colors in Space. But it's definitely a good fucking album. A lot of people hate this album, but for me, this is why it's in my number 7. Coming in at number 6 is their 2011 album, Take Care, Take Care, Take Care. I know you're gonna say, why the fuck is this more of a lower rank? It's still fucking good. It's still like a pioneer album. No one fucking sounds like this. This album definitely had a memorable time because I remember 2011, I was going through a hard time relationship, going through a breakup, and hearing these tracks definitely brought a lot of like weird vibes. But this album fit perfect when I was going through those times. Easily one of my favorite tracks is Trembling Hands. Postcards from 1952 was just fucking amazing, and their last track, Let Me Back In, that was fucking badass. But this whole album's pretty good. It's pretty fucking chill. It's a little bit more like on the slow side in my opinion, but this is why it's in my number 6. Coming in at number 5 is their 2023 album, End. I know a lot of the audience did not like this album because it kind of resembled like a soundtrack to a game like The Wilderness, but I disagree. This was a fucking fresh of breath air. I felt like there was a lot of enjoyment, a lot of brightness, and it was a fucking good, positive album. This band came back and said like, hey, we're still here, we still fucking got it, and here it is. It definitely reminds me of The Earth Is Not a Cold Dead Place, and there's other times that reminds me of All of a Sudden I Miss Everyone. And then, yes, for sure The Waters, because a lot of these tracks are short, but there's like 7 fucking tracks, and it's really good. It just brings a new vibe, and I like how it brings that bright side, because the short story to end is, it could be the end of things, like end of life, or the end of a relationship to start new things. And this is why it's in my number 5. Coming in at number 4 is their 2003 album, The Earth Is Not a Dead Cold Place. Yes, I know y'all are going to be pissed off and saying like, why is this not number 1 or number 2? Well, it's fucking good. It's really good. I know this is like a post-rock signature pioneer album, and there's a lot of fucking bands who I feel like try to rip this fucking album off with all the delay and reverb and cinematic climate sounds, but this album is fucking gorgeous. Like, it really is gorgeous. They have some of the best tracks on here, like The First Breath Out of the Coma and The Only Moment We're Alone and Your Hand in Mine. Yeah, they're fucking good, and it's very hard for me to pinpoint why this is in my number 4. But yeah, this fucking album is heavy as fuck at times, and it's fucking so soothing. This one is it. This is easily in someone's top 5 post-rock albums of all time, but this is why it's in my number 4. Coming in at number 3 is their 1999 album, How Strange, Innocence. Reasons why I fucking love this album, because I love the fucking raw texture to it. It definitely sounds like old school Mogwai, Modest Mouse, maybe a little bit old school Godspeed Your Black Emperor. There's nothing like this fucking album. It's so fucking good. Everything is just so raw, distorted, and easily my favorite tracks are like Look Into the Air, Snow and Lights, Time Stops, Remember Me, As Time of Day. Everything's fucking great. There's so many fucking bangers. Like, their first album is always going to be some kind of like stepping point to a band's discography, and this is a fucking good album. And if you have not heard this album, get into it. It's really fucking good. Coming in at number 2 is their 2007 album, All of a Sudden I Miss Everyone. This album was a big fucking step up. This is a championship winning album. Just when you think their 2003 album, The Earth Is Not a Dead Cold Place, was legit, this was fucking better, to my opinion. Everything's heroic about these tracks, like the opening track, which is The Earth and Death of the Day, and Welcome Ghosts, which is the most underrated track. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that one. And Catastrophe and The Cure is just fucking amazing. And I feel like the ending track, So Long, Lonesome, is just like a break off your shoulders and just being relieved of freedom. It's just very cathartic. Everything's melodic about it, and this definitely defines a Explosions in the Sky album. I can't say much about it because you just have to get into it, experience it, and this is why it's in my number 2 album. Coming in at number 1, my best Explosions in the Sky album of all time is their 2001 album, Those Who Tell the Truth Shall Die, Those Who Tell the Truth Shall Live Forever. If you saw my 10 best post-rock albums, then you already know that this is my number 1 post-rock album of all fucking time. The darkness of this album, the heaviness, going forward and not looking back defines this album for me. And also, this definitely brings a lot of vibes that sound like fucking Texas in a post-rock way. And everything is just amazing about this album. Like, it's just as raw as the first album. And I feel like at times they got a lot of inspiration from Mogwai and Godspeed You Black Emperor, thanks to those bands, even though they're not my top notch, which they are in the top 10. But this album is just so fucking bone-chilling, cathartic, haunting. There's some times I just remind myself struggling and climbing out of a dark hole and finding brightness, and this is what this fucking album does. I mean, their last track, which is called like With Tired Eyes, Tired Minds, Tired Souls, We Slept. This ending track is so fucking amazing. It's like a fucking roller coaster. It's very bipolar. It's soft, loud, intense, and the ending to this track is just fucking amazing. And everything else, including like Yasmin Delight, The Moon Is Down. I love how they have that twangy post-rock reverb to it. And if you feel like this is not your favorite album, maybe just give it a listen, turn off the lights, get lost into it, and it's gonna be fucking badass. So this is why this is my best post-rock and Explosions in the Sky album of all time. That's it for me. Those are all my albums ranked for Explosions in the Sky. Please let me know what you think about the video, the ranking. I love to know what your least and most favorite Explosion Skies album are. And I don't know when the next time I'm going to make another video, but take care, take care, take care, be safe, and peace.